Afternoon, everybody. Evening, everybody. Morning, everybody. We are talking about Black business today and how to get a blueprint for success for Black businesses. Listen, y'all know I talk about Black businesses all the time. Why? Because Black businesses are the fuel and the engine to drive the Black economy here in the United States. So today I got a super duper special guest. And if y'all see me getting a little excited, I'm fanboying a little bit because I've been following this young man for a long time. And y'all know I only bring people on who I feel are qualified to talk to y'all, have real conversations about real things, especially as it relates to Black business and the Black community overall. So without ado, I'm going to bring on Jay Jones from the Black Entrepreneur Podcast, or Black Entrepreneur Business Podcast. We're going to talk about, I just jacked this podcast name up, by the way. It's the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint Podcast. So forgive me for that. But we're going to talk about how to create a blueprint for Black businesses. And I want y'all all to stay tuned because I got something special for y'all towards the end of the broadcast. But without further ado, hey, Jay, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, brother Kamari. Appreciate you having me on, man.
I'm sorry for messing up your title of your show. Your baby,
oh, that's all right, man. I'm gonna have to leave 5 minutes early now.
I deserve that. I deserve that. So, but welcome to the Finance Rebel Show. Like I told you before in our virtual green room, been a fan for a long time.
Appreciate that.
And I love what you put out there. I love that you're in the digital space. You're promoting the digital space for Black people to get into, which for a long time we weren't in there. Now we're starting to see a rush now, but you were in there kind of early. So why Black people? Why entrepreneurship? And why do you feel you have the blueprint?
Well, from experience, man, one of the things that I always thought about, my father was an entrepreneur after he left corporate. That kind of, my great grandfather was, so that kind of was ingrained in me. And you can only, your true wealth, nobody's going to give you what you really are worth. You got to go get that. So I was with betting on yourself. Now I did the college corporate America thing and all of that. And after a while, that just reinforced why I needed to go out on my own. But in order to build generational wealth and be able to have something to pass down to your family, you got to do your own thing. So it's nothing wrong if you, and I call people that don't want to be entrepreneurs, I call them civilians. And there's nothing wrong with being a civilian if that's what you want to be. But I'm going to tell you.
That's so funny. That's so true, though.
There's another side to it that everybody, I don't care if you love corporate America, you should have some type of business or something going on. You never know what's going to happen. COVID, the crash, if you're old enough to crash in 2008, which wiped me out, almost lost everything then. COVID shut a lot of people down. So if you don't have some other additional stream of income, if you're a quote unquote civilian, you better get at it.
Okay. So we're going to have a good dynamic, right? Because everybody knows that I'm not a big fan of multiple streams of income.
I hear you.
For the civilian.
Gotcha.
Because the civilians want to try to come in and live this, what I call warrior mindset, entrepreneurial lifestyle, but they only playing with it. They're not really doing it. And so I feel like a lot of times you got a million different MLM programs that's paying you maybe $5 a month, where if you would just focus on doing a really good job on your 9 to 5, you can get a raise, more benefits, bonus, more skills, more training, and then that can help accelerate your freedom, so to speak. Because I always say, use your job to finance your freedom. But that's a whole other conversation. But you're right. 2008, I remember this. I was an institutional money manager at the time. Money markets were freezing up. Our connections on Wall Street that we did trading through didn't have a lot of resources. They weren't doing trades at the time. 2008, 2007, 2008, 2009 was a crazy time.
Yeah.
How did that shape how you look at business?
Oh, man. Well, you talked about multiple streams. So I was an entrepreneur by then after I left corporate America. And I owned a mortgage business, which I started, me and my business partner started in over a little deli, 2 phones, fax machine, built that up to over 50 employees. We're doing millions of dollars in revenue per month. And what happened in 2008, I was making so much money that we thought about diversifying, but we didn't. So we're about to pull the trigger on buying a Remax franchise down in Old City, Philadelphia. We didn't do that. It really wouldn't have made a difference because all that real estate mortgage stuff got shut down anyway. But it taught me that what, even though you're making a ton of money here, you always need to have additional streams of income. This is my personal feeling. And you need to have income that you can count on any economic climate, good climate, moderate climate, and a bad climate. And an example of that is, say you're a lawyer, right? When the climate is good, interest rates good, whatever, you could be making money doing closings, right? Economy is bad, you could be doing bankruptcies, right? So just being able to have money in any type of economic climate. But one thing I will say, Brother Kamari, which you kind of touched on a little bit, don't start trying to have multiple streams of income until you get one stream, working first. And I see that's a big problem with a lot of entrepreneurs. We here, there, all over the place. You don't even have one consistent stream of income, and now you're trying to open 3 other businesses. So what I learned was from 08, man, almost losing it all, house, cars, everything. Man, I'm like, I'm never going to be caught like that again.
And I was going to say, you just made me think of it, right? There's nothing wrong with multiple streams of income, but you have to understand the seasons of wealth generation. You have wealth accumulation, wealth management, wealth protection, wealth transfer.
Right.
Diversification is not really a wealth accumulation strategy. If, however, you can build up one stable income stream, it makes sense to potentially build another one. But that one's secure. It's an anchor for you. It's your cash cow. And that's just a principle that I feel like nobody's talking about. Yeah. But, it is what it is.
And if I can add to that real quick, brother, one of the things when you talk about additional streams of income, look at something that's synergistic with what you're already making money on. So when my mortgage business was rocking, we opened up a credit repair agency because we were outsourcing it, and the people we were sending them to weren't doing anything. So we tried to teach them how to do it first. And then people like, man, can y'all just do it? So we actually ended up opening up a credit repair agency inside the mortgage business. And so that's a synergistic relationship that didn't take any extra energy really to generate revenue.
Right. Hold on, Jay. Hold on. One, you deserve this. Right. So I got to give you the horns for that because that's a gem, and I agree with that 1,000%. Plus, like I said, I'm fanboying a little bit, right? I was supposed to give you that from the start. So I got to give you that.
Here we go.
All right. So, but yeah, I totally agree. I was talking to my son. He's ventured out entrepreneurship. I think I created a problem. It's funny. My dad said the same thing about me because my dad became an entrepreneur in like 82, 83. And he was like, I've shown you all this. And I kind of wanted you to go be safe and do some stuff, but you want to be an entrepreneur too. I'm like, yeah. Now my son, it's funny with my son, he always throws this up in my face. I didn't let him get a job when he was younger.
Okay.
Because I told him, I want you to get into the mindset of going to make your money.
Right.
You can cut grass. I got a lawnmower. You cut the grass all the time. Go cut your neighbor's grass. Go shovel snow. Go run errands. And so now his brother and sister, they have jobs. He was like, you ain't let me get a job. And I said, but look, you done went and got your own job. You mean your own business, because he's a mobile detailer now. And going back to the synergy, right? I said, I need my house pressure washed.
Yep.
If I get you, because he says he needs a higher power, if I get you a pressure washer, will you come to my house? Because it's synergy.
Exactly.
He's like, well, I don't want to do that. I want to do mobile detailing. Now, that was 6 months ago.
Right.
Now he's like, that might make sense. Because I was starting to talk to him about understanding your business. I said, your business is cyclical.
Right.
Meaning that it goes up and down. The winter is always going to be worse than the fall. Pressure washing may be able to relieve some of that cash drain in the fall. In the winter times, maybe not. I got to look at it a little bit deeper. However, it's synergy. You got the truck, you got the water tank, you got the generator. You might need a different sprayer, but something to think about. Something to think about.
Let's go. I want to add to that real quick too, bro. I talked on one of my shows. This was years ago. One of my cousins in Charlotte got a trash can cleaning business.
Hold on. Today, I kid you not. Today, my client, a friend of mine, said, "Does your son do trash can cleaning?" I said, "No, I never heard of it."
Bruh.
She said, "Yeah, they got him in Delaware, right? They
Yeah.
got him in, I'm in PA, and I've
Right.
never seen it." And so I talked to him about it. He said, "Yeah, he follows some guy on Instagram." But go ahead. I'm
Bro.
sorry.
Nah, but the same equipment. So my cousin started this about 5 years ago. And the reason he started it was because his you know, you got if you got city service or whatever, they come out your trash cans, they be dirty and stinky and all of that, the bag breaks, and people don't like to clean them. So he started cleaning his, and then his neighbors were like, "You mind cleaning mine?" And then what he started doing was following the trash truck around, learning the routes. And all he did to make
Smart.
money was he put stickers on top of the trash can. You know, I'll clean and sanitize your trash can, you know, every week. So, and he started it. Dude got about 4 trucks right now down in Charlotte getting it. Something simple, but it's funny. Power washing. He started out power washing,
Right.
and then the
Makes sense.
synergies to the trash can. And it's he said that the freaking trash cans is killing. So that's a subscription, a monthly subscription.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
It
bro.
makes a lot of sense. I mean, you got to start thinking about synergies, right? But do one thing at a time. Even me, right? I get some of my clients that want me to do financial planning for them.
Mhm.
I've been focusing on tax because I'm wanting to build this up. I read a book called Ready, Fire, Aim, or Aim, Fire, Ready, something like that. It
Mhm.
says you should really, before you add another service onto your business, you should really be at $1 million or more in revenue. And I thought about that. I said, that makes sense.
Right.
So it's not a static thing. I think you could probably, different things might come up where you can maybe go before $1 million
Yeah.
if the opportunity arises. But that's a decent goalpost because how many other people, like I said, will jump out of their business, do something else, miss all the opportunity of all the infrastructure they've laid, relationships they've laid, and they really miss out on the gold mine.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
that's a good point, bro.
And there's just certain things you can't get until you got more time.
Right.
It's
And
all-
resources.
Right. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
You know.
That's a
Gotta have
1,000% fact. That's a 1,000% fact.
Yeah.
All right. So again, I'm excited to have you here. Jay's from
Appreciate
Philly. I'm from Philly, right? We have very similar backgrounds. We both went to Temple. We
That's
both
it.
majored in finance,
Finance. That's crazy.
right?
You're
So,
an Eagles fan, right?
I'm not really a sports fan. I'm not really a sports fan.
Okay.
But
All right.
listen,
As
I'm
long
gonna
as
tell
you
you,
didn't say Cowboys, man, we good.
no. That's disrespectful. I'm gonna say this though. I really like what Jalen Hurts is representing now for Black athletes.
Most definitely.
He's
I love that young brother.
he's got a whole squad of Black women holding him down. I mean, that's the way it's
powerful.
supposed to be, you know.
Yeah. It's powerful. Yeah. And that's what we all need to be doing. Be
Right.
conscious about our decisions. I know we're going to talk about that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So 08 rocks your world, right? Do you ever regret not staying in that business?
Oh, I'm coming back, baby.
Are you coming back?
I'm coming back as we speak. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I got to the point, Brother Kamar, where you ever just get, one of my boys said this before. You ever get tired of just being the boss? Sometimes you just want to, man, I'm tired of solving all, fixing all these problems. I was so messed up, man. House about to be repoed, cars repoed, house about to lose the house, fought through that. And it's funny because my wife always said, because my business partner is like my brother, my best friend.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, you ever getting back in the mortgage business? I said, nope, I'm done with it. And just recently, about a year ago, me and my brother was sitting down talking. He was like, yo, man, you need to get back in the game. I need you because I'm the operations. I'm like the back office guy. He's like the sales guy, even though I can sell.
Right.
I always have been selling. And so as we speak, man, we got our license in for our new mortgage brokerage firm that we coming back out in. So hopefully the licensing will be in by mid-June. But yeah, I'm back because I have a platform, and it's crazy. Even though I've been out of the game for so many years, people still calling me, family, friends. Yo, man, I'm trying to get this mortgage. What should I do? And I'm like, yeah, I can do this till I'm 80. Right?
So,
I
so
can shuffle papers. You
do
know,
we have a name for the mortgage company? I want the exclusive. Can I get the exclusive?
It's tentative because we're trying to. The name is taken in a couple other states, so we're trying to figure it out right now. But it's going. I put it like this: it's going to have legacy is going to be in there.
Okay.
So that's
Okay.
going to be part of the name. So
I'm gonna put you on the spot then. So
All right, what's up?
when y'all get it up and going,
Mhm.
I need you to come back,
Okay,
talk about it, let people know
definitely.
about what you're doing. So
Yeah,
your partner's in Philly as well.
yeah, he's in Philly too, man.
Perfect,
Yep.
perfect,
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah,
Love it. Gotta
definitely.
give me the horns for that.
You
Gotta
got that
give me the horns for
exclusive, baby.
that. I'll take it. I will take it. All
Yeah.
right. So, but in the interim, have you missed being in the mortgage for these last 15 years? 15 years?
Nah.
Nah.
No, you know what? Because like I told my wife, I said, I'm blessed to be at the point where I don't have to do anything that I'm not moved to do. Right. So if it's not in my spirit, I'm not just going to get in something just because it's there.
Mhm.
I'm going to get into it because I'm ready to make that step. And so when I told her, she started cracking up. She was like, I knew it. I knew it. I said, yeah, but it wasn't when you wanted me to do it. Cause she was like, I know y'all gonna do good things. I ain't ready for that right now. I'm tired of dealing with this. And when I come back this time, it's going to be more of a boutique type operation. I'm not going to have 50 employees. I'm not going to be paying 12 grand a month down in Center City for
Right.
office space.
Right.
It's going to be sleek and slim, and we're going to be more of a boutique type shop because I'm not trying to. My kids are 27, 23. They grown, but when you got employees, they like kids because you got to manage that.
All the time.
It's a family, you know what I mean? And I'm past that. My kids is grown. I don't need no more. You know,
He stole my toy. She took my lead. I give him the lead back.
Right. Yeah, so I'm coming back the way I want to come back. So
Nice. All right. So what led you to create the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the podcast?
You got it right this time. There you go.
Listen, listen, I know it. Like I told you, I'm a big fan. Like, and I listen to that. And that podcast, you said you're over 400 episodes once a week.
Yep.
Talk about consistency, right? I know that's one of the big themes of yours.
Yeah.
When did you start the podcast?
September of 2014. Yeah, September 2014. And the impetus of the podcast was, and you probably get this too, when you're proficient in something and you do something, your family and friends probably ask you about tax stuff, I'm sure, all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've started all of these businesses. So all my family, friends, yo, man, I'm trying to start a business. So I'm, giving them, steps and game. And so what happened was I said, let me just go ahead and put this out there. So I actually was on an AM radio station, 860 AM in Philly. I forgot the call letters.
Oh,
and
I remember that. They used to do all the financial stuff.
Yeah. And so I was on there every Tuesday. And the show was called The Entrepreneur Advantage. And I started because it was on predominantly white station, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had to, it was generic. So it was so crazy, Brother Kamar, because I told him, I said, you know what? I said, I'm about to leave. I'm gonna do this internet radio podcast, right? And the station manager was like, man, you crazy. Nobody's listening. All right, whatever. Peace. And so I changed the show to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. I actually was on URD for a while.
Really?
Yeah. It was Tuesday or Wednesday nights. Problem with URD, which is 900 AM in Philly, the only Black radio station. If y'all anywhere around, support them. They doing good things. The problem was with the AM signal at night, you got to pot it down, right?
Yep.
So it was literally like me opening up my window and doing the show because I think only maybe 10, 15 mile radius. You come on, man.
So I'm laughing. This all started because of a Black man by the name of Dr. Walter Lomax. Right.
Sarah's dad.
Right.
Yep.
Sarah Lomax's father, founder of WURD.
Yeah.
And Jay, you might be able to appreciate this.
Bad boy, man. He was a bad boy.
Bad boy. He was a doctor, did a lot for the community. The 20th anniversary of WURD is coming up. But all my life, I've loved talk radio. I'm a teenage kid listening to talk radio. All my friends are thinking I'm a weirdo. Right? That's how weird I am being from a quote unquote urban area.
Right.
And then I get this opportunity to get on radio with Cody Anderson. Cody Anderson is an OG guy. Rest in peace to bro Cody. But he's an OG in Black Talk Radio.
Yep.
WHAT, then WURD.
Yep.
And so for me, I got to do that. And I was like, one of my dreams has been fulfilled.
Exactly, bro.
I got to do radio with Cody. Cody, again, it was the legacy stuff, right?
Right.
And the conversations him and his son Bill Anderson was in. Bill's on TV now on Fox.
Fox 29. Yeah,
Fox 29 doing great things. But for me, it was like, great. I didn't know that you were on WURD as well.
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing is, Sarah went to University of Pennsylvania and knew my wife. They graduated at the same time. My wife and Sarah went to Penn together. And me and Tim, her husband, Tim went to Temple with me. So me and Tim used to be in the gym balling all the time. So that's my guy. So Tim married Sarah, and it's a small world, man. So I was on URD for a minute. And then I just said, you know what? This quote unquote internet radio, I'm just going to give it a shot. And so in 2014, I was like, you know what? Let's see what happens. And this is what I want to tell folks too. When you don't need something, right? So I didn't go into podcasting to make money. That it was more information. It was cathartic. I figured I could help people based on my journey. So a lot of people go into endeavors just to make money. I'm making money with my brands, my online products and physical products and stuff like that. So when I went and started my podcast, it was more, once again, to help the people, because you got to serve somebody. And so that's when I started the podcast. And once again, it was just to share the information that I had been given to all my family and friends for over the years, and just, letting them know what my history is, my ups, my downs. And I think people appreciate the fact that I'm not a guru, because I've made mistakes. I've almost lost it all twice, and I'm transparent about that. So people are coming along on this ride and they're listening to my journey. And hopefully by listening to my journey, they can avoid some of the pitfalls, that I've had over the years as an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur.
Man, that's fantastic. I didn't even know that we had that in common as well. So I guess this is a karmic energy that we finally got a chance to meet.
Most definitely.
All right. So figured out the Black Entrepreneurship Blueprint. Funny enough, I got you by a couple of years, but here you'll appreciate this, right? So
all right, what's up?
Our show ended around either 2011, 2012. I can't remember. I started a podcast. My partner at the time didn't really want to do it. I couldn't really see myself doing a solo podcast. Okay. So I stopped. But it was still in me. It was still something I wanted to do.
Right.
And then so I think I came back seriously in 2017, 2018, somewhere around there. But I missed that whole window. Had I been consistent and just stuck with what I was really passionate about, we'd be fine. I'd be fine.
You still doing it, brother?
No. So I don't have any regrets, but what I'm going to is, you always talk about consistency. I talk about it too. Had I been consistent, who knows where I would be down? I know you're not really supposed to look back, but I'm human, right? So I'm looking at all of these scammers out here, right? And it's like, what would my audience look like now? Because everybody knows I'm like you. Yeah. I don't do this for money per se. Exactly. Does it have a latent benefit of money or after effect of benefit? Yes, but that's not what it is. I do this for free, free all day long. And a lot of people don't get to that. I want to talk a little bit more about that. Okay. But had I not missed that 5, 6, 7 years of window of time where podcasts are really blowing up,
right?
What could have happened? So I say I like to say to kind of like you, be consistent, y'all. Be
Yeah.
consistent. If you got something you enjoy, if you're not making any money, don't worry about it. The money will find you. I know that's cliche. I know it's cliche,
It's real talk.
but it's so real. It's so real.
Talk, bro.
So,
Yeah.
all right. So URD started the podcast 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Was it always the Black Entrepreneurship Blueprint, or was it
Yeah.
something else?
After I left 860 AM, well, actually, sorry, after I left URD, that's when I changed it, because I started looking at the podcasts that were out there, right? You know, you got John Lee Dumas, Entrepreneur on Fire. You got all that. I know I saw your video. We got all of these
Oh,
cats.
you saw that one too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, and when I stopped listening to them after I peeped game, right? And so I was like, yo, there's nobody really out here talking to us. That's us. And I said, well, I'm Black. I'm a serial entrepreneur. Let me just go ahead and talk. And so that's how that started. Now it's funny because my following is more on the podcast than the video, than YouTube. Some cats came in and just blew up YouTube, but mine is downloads, right? So I'm getting 100,000 downloads every episode.
Oh, y'all hear that flex?
Yeah.
Y'all hear that flex?
That's, I mean, what I
say that. I love it. I love it.
I've been doing it consistently for damn near 10 years.
Right.
So when I first started, the first 30 days I started my podcast, Brother Kamari, I had 134 downloads, and I guarantee you 100 of them was my family, right? But being consistent and not worrying about the money, because I wasn't in the game for money. I was in there to give out that good word. And if your mindset is right, there's cats now, get into a podcast, make all this money. You ain't gonna make no money right away. I'm telling you right now, unless you got a big name like Mike Tyson and you know, or somebody, and you coming in and you bringing people. But if you're regular cats like me, nah, that ain't gonna happen. So, you know, you got to do it for the right reasons. And like I said, when you do something where you're not dependent on the money, you can be totally above board and honest about what you're doing. You don't have to take the shortcuts just to make money. And I know we're going to talk about some of these, you know, cats out there.
Well, I was going to spare you the drama, because you're kind of like me. You don't want none of that smoke.
Yeah, I don't want no smoke. But I will say this, and this is why I tell people I had to pare down the information that's coming in my ears, right? Because you gotta, like my mom always says, remember the source. So anybody that I bring on my platform, they ain't paid me a dime. I've had, man, y'all don't even know. I get probably 5 to 6 PR companies a day sending me emails trying to get on my platform, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. And I've had people offer me money. I don't take money because I respect my audience. And the only people that I'm going to bring on my platform are people that I vetted and people that I believe in. And so, you know, there's some of these, you know, not going to call no names out because I'm not going to disparage people. Everybody got their own monetization tactics or whatever.
Right.
But I'm never going to put somebody on my platform because they paid me, because that's not how I work.
Right.
And so I respect you guys too much, the BEB family, to bring somebody on, some nut on, just because they paying me some money.
Right.
It don't work like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
I know you the same way.
I'm the same way. And I got that way because I kind of went down a rabbit hole on another podcast I used to do, where somebody was doing PR. They was pitching me all these big name people. And I was like, oh, great, it'll blow my podcast. But then some of the interviews fell flat. And so I had to go through that experience, right? Because I realized I'm only going to bring people in I really want to talk to. Exactly. And hopefully that the audience will get, well, I know I'm going to get value. Hopefully the audience will get value too. But we both worked in radio, right? So, you know, the worst thing in radio is dead air.
Exactly.
And we can keep the conversation going, but it's nothing like having a genuine, authentic, real conversation. And so I said I wasn't going to do that anymore because one, it just felt bad. Yeah. And I get a lot of PR people calling me, about emailing me. I
Right.
just ignore them. I
Yeah.
just ignore them.
I'll get back to him. It's funny. I was telling one lady, she's from a big PR agency. I was like, I don't take money to put guests on. That's not how I work. You
Right.
know what I mean? I bring people on that make sense for my audience. So,
Right.
And when I started seeing, some of these other podcasts, because I had cats reach out to me, yo, you want to be on my podcast? It's X amount of, I'm like, man, get out of here.
Right.
Nah, I ain't paying you. If you don't respect what I'm doing enough for me to come on and add value to your audience, then you don't want me. And so that's why I had to start really paring down. Who are you listening to? What type of experience or expertise are you listening to? There's talking heads, and then I always talk about the difference between theory and practical application. So I'm a guru. Everything I talk about, I do.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Gotta give you the one for that. Guru. I might steal that from you. I don't know
Go
if
ahead,
you
bro.
got a
I ain't
trademark
trademarked
that. I might have to borrow that, brother. A guru, but I'm sorry.
Just give me credit.
Absolutely.
But I'm a guru. So when I talk about things on my show, I'm talking about things that I've done. And then the people that I bring on, they're going to talk about stuff that they've done. It's not theory, it's practical application. And I always talk about the difference between knowledge and know-how. Knowledge comes, you can watch this interview and you're picking up knowledge, right? You can watch a documentary and you'll get some knowledge. And I always use the example of an F-15 fighter pilot, right? So I can read the manual about how to fly the plane. I can watch a video. I can go play a video game. But if you put Jay Jones in that cockpit, do I know how to fly that F-15 fighter jet? No, I have knowledge about it, but I don't know how. Know-how comes from doing. And so my podcast and everybody that I bring on my platform, they speak from a place of know-how, not knowledge. It's a big difference, y'all. And so y'all got to be able to decipher that.
Yeah, so for me, I'm the same way. I will say this. I will study a thing so well that I can do it. Now, you have to realize there's certain things you can't do that with. You can't do that with an F-15.
Exactly.
You probably shouldn't do that with a Maserati or a Ferrari, right?
Mm-hmm.
These kids is getting these souped up cars. Prom season's coming up, y'all be safe.
Exactly.
Right. They get these souped up cars. Yeah. And they don't have the experience, because you need an experience just to build the reflexes and the muscle memory to handle certain things. Now, Jay, you're from Philadelphia. The first time my dad took me out driving, he took me on Lincoln Drive. It's like, what in the world? And I'm driving all slow. And for y'all who are not from Philly, Lincoln Drive is this windy kind of drive. It's very scenic though. Yeah, trees everywhere, a creek on the side that feeds into the Schuylkill River. Beautiful. I still drive it to this day. But I'm driving about 10 miles an hour and everybody's beeping behind me because I didn't have the know-how, the experience to do it. And that's what I see a lot of people trying to do in their entrepreneurship journey. It's a journey, folks. It's a journey. You got to get there.
Yeah, that's real talk.
So you kind of stumbled a little bit after 2008. You built BEB. When did you get to the point where you kind of built yourself back up, got back on your legs again?
Man, you know what it was? I did an episode. It's funny. People always ask me, yo, man, tell me about what episode was it when you talked? Man, I got 464 episodes. I can't even remember the numbers, right? But what happened was after 08, 09, I'm laying on the couch one night. I'm looking at the ceiling, figuring out how I'm gonna get past this. My wife and my girls, their daughters, they sleeping good. Well, my wife knew we was in trouble, but my daughters were sleeping good. They were young. They didn't need to know anything about that. They don't worry about that. Dad's gonna figure it out. And so I said, when I make a comeback, what do I want and what don't I want? And so I started formulating my comeback, right? And so I didn't want a whole bunch of employees. I didn't want to have to go in the office every day. I didn't want to have a $12,000 a month rent down at 1617 JFK Boulevard in Center City. I didn't want any of that. I wanted freedom. I wanted flexibility. I wanted unlimited income. And now I'm thinking, how do I get that?
Right.
And so I started thinking about e-commerce. Now, I did an episode titled "E-Commerce Saved My Life." And so the freedom equation, I did an episode, cash flow plus passive income equals freedom. And that's really what I wanted. And so what happened, bro, is
now somebody hold on now. Hold on. Somebody in the chat write that down. Cash flow plus passive income equals freedom.
That's my freedom equation. If you I did an episode on that not too long ago. But one of the things that if I can just backtrack real quick is I'm big on family, right? So I have, well, you can see in the background right here. Those are my two daughters when they were little. That picture behind me. If I turn the camera around, there's one with all three of my kids. My son, I lost my son to brain cancer at 17 months old. So he would, thank you, brother. He would have been 22. My youngest daughter is 24. My oldest is 27. And so family had always been big to me. So by this time, Aaron, had transitioned by this time. So my comeback was, I'm like, yo, I need to have that freedom and flexibility so I can make sure that I'm spending time with my family. So e-commerce came into play. And this is something that y'all, that not y'all, but we Black folk got to understand. We're always in the forefront when it comes to culture, dancing, entertainment. We need to be in the forefront when it comes to business. So stop playing, y'all. So I'm looking on YouTube and they had this thing about Amazon FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, private label. So I'm looking at all these videos. I bought a course and all of that. And I said, let me try this. So I'm a bald-headed Black dude, right? Now, so my wife was in the bathroom one morning, 2009, getting ready to go to work, and her flat iron broke. So she was like, oh man, I gotta pull my head back because half my joint is laid and the other half is
I listened to that episode now. I'm remembering.
Yeah. And so, and just out of curiosity, I'm always curious. I said, well, how much does a flat iron cost? And she's like, oh, I gotta go to the mall after work. She's like, oh, about $150, $200. I said, for that? She's like, yeah, it's gotta have high heat, it's gotta have ceramic plates, it's gotta have this. And I'm looking at this flat iron. I'm like, this piece of crap, I know it don't cost nowhere near that. So here's my ADD entrepreneur mind, right? I go on Alibaba, right? And I start looking at flat iron manufacturers with flat irons that kind of look like that one. So I ordered 3 samples, and I had my wife and my 2 daughters try them out for about 6 weeks. And after the end of 6 weeks, I asked them, I said, which one did y'all like the best? And they all 3 said this one. So I called the manufacturer. Now it's funny because I did this backwards. I trademarked the name, created a brand, didn't know if it was going to sell or not. But I ended up ordering my first shipment from the manufacturer. I got 100 units. And here's the crazy thing, Brother Kamari. The landed cost, the cost of the flat iron was $5.50. The landed cost with my packaging, which is high-end packaging, and the shipping was $10.78 per unit landed to my crib. I was selling them for $129.
Wait, let's run the numbers. I always believe in.
Yeah, bro.
$10.78 was your all-in cost.
From China to my front door, right?
Man.
I'm selling them for $129.
Are you still selling those?
Huh?
You still selling those?
Yeah, I got 2 brands of flat irons right now.
Let me borrow $1, man. Let me do something.
No, I'm gonna give you the game. I don't need to give you the money. I'm gonna give you the game. I'm gonna teach you how to fish, right?
Nah, that's
yeah. So what happened was, I was in this group, and what we would do is we review each other's products, right? You can't really do that now. So I got a lot of good reviews. So anyway, I started selling June of that year. From June
2014.
Yeah, 2014. June of 2014 to December of 2014, I grossed $272,000 with a 73% profit margin, right? From 6 months. And that literally saved my life in terms of getting back on my feet. And so when my wife and my daughters were laughing at me, yo, what's dad doing now? My wife, man, come on, bro, what you doing, man? You know, but I didn't let that stop me, because when you talk about margins like that, and it's pricing and positioning. So I positioned my flat iron. People were selling the same flat iron with a different name for $35, $40. Mine had a high end magnetic closure box, my verbiage, everything, my website, all of that was high end. And so now, if your positioning and your pricing are aligned, you're gonna make money. But if it's not aligned, you're not gonna make money. So it's just like if you went and bought a Beats headphones. If they came in a clamshell and was hanging up in Walmart with no packaging or boxing, you ain't spending $299, right?
Right.
And so that saved my life. So literally the month of December of that year, I grossed $92,000 in 1 month. Like I said, 270
holiday season.
Come on, bro. But what they don't tell you is when the returns that come back in January. Because when people buy presents, their returns, I mean, it wasn't crazy, but I was like, it was more than normal. So when that happened, bro, that just opened me up to be able to create additional product brands, selling on Amazon, my own sites. And it gave me that freedom and flexibility to be able to be with my family. And that's, you know, and I tell the story all the time. My girls were, you know, they were always studious kids, good kids in school, and they were athletes and all of that. So field hockey, swimming, track, all of that, soccer. And so from the time my oldest daughter was I think she was a sophomore in high school, they're 3 years apart, and they both played in all these sports and all these activities. I never missed a home field hockey game. That was their main sport. An away game, the AAU games, and their club games. And they would travel Florida, you know, all over Maryland, Virginia. And the kids' parents used to ask, yo, does your dad work? And they would start laughing. Yeah, dad works. But once again, I had that freedom equation working. Cash flow plus passive income equals freedom. Nice. And that allowed me to change my life. And that allowed me to do the podcast really I didn't worry about money, because I'm getting it. I ain't never sold drugs before, right? But that cheddar was coming in. What they say, cheddar makes it better?
Yes, Come on, man. Yes, sir. Jeez.
So that money was coming in like that. And it allowed me not only to do that, but build other brands and do other things. So when you're not pressed for that paper, you're going to act and you're going to build the right way. You're not going to jump from step A to step C because, I got to make paper. Nah, you're going to build the right way. Right. So that's really changed my life right there, bro.
Okay. Any other products or services you've used e-commerce to do? Because everybody's talking about e-commerce now, right? It's like the thing.
I've got my high-end brand flat iron. I got my medium brand flat irons and hair serum and hair thermal protector, which you don't know nothing about this either because you bald too, right? Wow. So the thermal protector protects your hair when you straighten it and stuff like that. So I had a company with my oldest daughter. She got entrepreneur ADD too. And we were going to do natural hair care products, but she never pulled her weight. So I shut that down. Then I got a lot of digital products and stuff, online courses and things like that right now. So the beauty of it is it's always about building assets. But what you got to understand, not all assets are going to give you a return right away. So I can write a book, I can create a course, whatever, that I can sell infinitum, right, for forever, and it's going to make me money. But it doesn't necessarily have to return for me right now. And that's what people who are so pressed for money, they skip steps. So if you get one thing that's going, that's giving you that money that you need to live and whatever, then you can do the steps properly and you can start building assets. So I got books out, I got online courses out, I got physical products brands, I do speaking engagements, I do all of that, and so I actually created what I call my sweet spot. I built my business around my lifestyle. And And that's what you want to do. You want to build your business around your lifestyle. I don't want to be in the office 12 hours a day anymore. I don't want to have 50 employees. I'm tired of that nonsense. I want to be on the beach out in LA, whatever, sitting on the beach on my laptop making paper. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
it's funny. I heard you talking about the story of LA.
saying?
Told your wife, I want to move to LA part-time. I want some of that LA sunshine. By the way, the LA sunshine comes from LA taxes too. So
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna holler at you with that.
listen, California State FTB, oh man,
Mm,
they're gangsters. But
yeah.
California,
Mhm.
what made you want to think about even going there on a part-time basis?
Well, you know what it was, man. My oldest daughter, and this is one thing. We big on education, right, in our household. My wife is she's a principal. She's been a teacher, principal. She's always been in the education system. So I defer a lot to her. But one of the things, my daughters, I told them when they were younger, you can go to any school that you want to go to, right? You don't have to go in state or whatever. You know, as
Mhm.
long as you're a good student. If you over there BSing around, you going in state, right? So my oldest went to Duke, graduated from Duke, and my youngest graduated from University of Virginia. So they two pretty
Nice,
good schools.
nice,
So my oldest went
pretty
to
good. They're both
huh?
stellar schools.
Yeah. They good schools. So
Yeah.
my oldest did Duke in LA her senior year, I think first semester of senior year. So they did like an exchange program. She loved it,
Mhm.
right? That summer she got an internship at HBO in Santa Monica, which LA.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So she was there. Matter of fact, she was reading scripts, some of the movies that Madam CJ Walker, she
Mhm.
actually read that script
Mhm.
before it even came out, right? With
Nice.
I forgot the sister's name that did it. But so I was out there moving her from Duke to her apartment in the summertime. And what I really loved about it was just the climate, right? So when you go out to LA, we here on the East Coast, summertime, you got a picnic. If you eat mac and cheese, you got to look inside your mac and cheese and make sure there ain't no legs in there moving around. We got
Absolutely.
flies, bugs. Man, ain't no flies out there, no bugs. You could sit outside, man, and grub with your rib juice falling off your face, and you don't have that the flies. And then my wife and I, my kids, we like to do hiking and biking. So 30 minutes over here, you going to the mountains. We hiking up to the Hollywood sign. We go
Right.
down to Malibu, we at the beach. I just love the climate.
Yeah.
Now, I told my wife I couldn't live there 12 months. I said I would, I like to change the season. So I like fall and winter. I know it sounds crazy, but I like sitting by my fireplace at the crib watching the Eagles, chill in the air, snow on the ground, whatever. And then in the spring and summer, I'm gonna have my butt out in LA. So
Gotcha.
that's really I just like the lifestyle out there. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
I
Yeah,
like it. I like it.
yeah.
So, right, I want to talk about your latest project. Before we do that, you brought up something I think is really good, right? So we have um this whole culture of matter of fact, I want to play something for you.
Okay.
But we have this whole culture of generational wealth. And through that, people are talking about they want to set up LLCs for their kids. They want to establish businesses for their kids. You just said you set up a business with your daughter. She wasn't pulling her weight. And that's the thought that always runs through my mind. It's like, what if your kid doesn't want to do the business that you've built? Then what? So what are your thoughts about that? Building a business for your kid, any of that stuff. What do you think?
How much time you got? I'm wide open, baby. Because let me tell you what I did. You have to, just like you indoctrinate your kids to whatever that you into, say
Mhm.
be it religion, Christianity, being a Muslim, whatever. I indoctrinated my kids in entrepreneurship.
Mhm.
So when my kids were 10 and 7, they wanted these, UGG boots, right? I'm like, okay, they're expensive, but we get it to them. I said, y'all got to learn how to make some money. So what I did was I had contacted the local in Delaware. They have a minor league baseball team, the Blue Rocks. So I
Mhm.
contacted the Blue Rocks and I was like, "Do y'all have any water ice stands?" Right? And they were like, nah. So, come on in and let's talk. So I brought my daughters 10 and 7 into the meeting. And they were like, we would love to have a water ice stand. And so I said, all right, I signed the contract. I spent $7,000 on a cold cart that I got wrapped. A cold cart, you plug it in, then you unplug it and take it out, and it stays cold for 24 hours, the umbrella and the whole thing. And what I did was we named it AJ's world famous water ice. My son's name is Aaron Jones. So AJ was his nickname. And so 10% of our proceeds went to the National Children's Cancer Society. So for 41 games, 41 home games, me and my two daughters, we scooping water ice, right? We had a bell out there. Anytime somebody's got water ice, we told the kids, go out, ring the bell. We were selling the AJ's water ice glasses. The first year we were out there, bro, we did, and this is in the spring and summer. Now I'm working my business, but I want to teach them how to create money. And so we did $31,000 in profits that first summer. After that, the Blue Rocks, the concession management company, also used to work for the DC United soccer club down in DC, RFK Stadium. They were like, yo, can you get a cart down there? I'm like, damn, how are we going to do this? So one of my boys, him and his daughter, I was telling him, he was like, yo, I'm with you. So we got 2 carts. We bought another cart, went down to DC. So that next summer, I think we netted about like $55,000. And what I did with my girls was, first thing I told them was, you got to pay back this $7,000 on this cart, on the first cart, right? So you won't get paid, but you ain't getting all of this, because you got to understand there's assets, there's liabilities, and ain't nothing for free. And then what I would do, I paid them 50% of their money that we put in savings. The other 50%, you can go, buy your Uggs or whatever you want to do with it. Go to the mall and whatever like that. But I think that it's imperative, especially for us, to instill that. And I'm not going to call it hustle, because I think hustle almost kind of denotes it's like you're not focused. It's like you all over the place. I think I wanted to instill that you can create your own money. Right. And so
the spirit of independence.
Right. And so when we down, like DC United, they had some like international game. It was like a double header. We mustered that one day down at RFK Stadium. We probably bought in close to $10,000. And I always let my daughters count the money. Right. So $10,000 for a 10-year-old, 7-year-old, that's a whole lot of money.
Change their whole mindset.
Exactly. And that was the whole purpose. So I don't even remember what your question was, but that's what I did. What was the question?
The question was, what do you think about all this talk about starting businesses for your children?
Yeah. And so that gave them a taste. Now, I didn't make them. Both of my daughters right now, they're working for major corporations, but I know my oldest one is going to eventually be out. And I think my youngest one will be out eventually. But I tell them, just like the companies are using you, you use them. You get those hard skills, you get the connections, the contacts, and you figure out when you're ready what you want to do. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why I think it's important to understand. And now, because if you didn't have, or they didn't have that experience, think about it. There's adults our age ain't never held 10 stacks in their hand.
That's a fact.
You see what I'm saying? So they was doing this at 10, 11 years old, 8, 9. They know it's possible. And I think that's the biggest key. It's attainable. And I don't want to run on, but let me just tell you this real quick. I was talking to my wife, and I was talking about this condo down in LA, right? And kind of about 1.2, 1.3. And my wife is corporate, right? God bless her. And when you know that every 2 weeks you're making X amount of dollars, right? A $1.2 million condo may seem, that's impossible, because I know my money's already spent, right? I know I make whatever, $3,000 every 2 weeks. I know I got this to pay, that to pay. You can't fathom that, right? And that's just because that's your mindset. But as an entrepreneur, you may be broke as I don't know what right now, but there's a possibility.
Sky's the limits.
Right. It's unlimited. So now you can fathom, you know what, that 1.2, when you made a couple $100,000 a month, come on now. Yeah, that's possible. But if you only made $3,000 a month and that's your max, that 1.5, you can't even fathom it.
Right.
Give yourself a chance. Help me help you, right?
Well, it's all about vision, right?
That's it.
And I know some people who have had some 6-figure months, but not consistently. So
Right.
they still can't necessarily figure out how to do it. So they don't necessarily have the vision for doing things. And I'm like, you just got to keep testing, keep trying, and get back on it. You'll figure it out eventually.
Exactly.
But all right, so I want to show you this clip and I want to get your reaction to it.
Okay.
Generational wealth, which I hate that term. I hate that term.
Why?
Because it's a marketing. It turned into a marketing strategy.
Facts.
And especially in our community.
Yes.
And I'm tired of our people constantly shoving that down our people's throat about generational wealth, and then making people feel what's the word I want to use? Guilty that they're not setting their next generation up so that they could supposedly live that generational life. Everybody, if you listen to the word, is generational, means continual, okay? Not generational meaning one generation. You understand? So parents, you're doing your thing. Be proud of yourself. You busting your tail. You sending your kids to the best school that you can give them. You also want to better yourself. Bravo to you. Put your kids in the best position to then pass them the baton and let them do their job. So I really wish that we would stop this generational wealth marketing to our people and then making our people. This is the reason why our people are doing penitentiary chances.
Real talk.
This is the reason why our people are doing these PPP scams and all the other stuff that they're doing that'll get your ass locked up because you feeling that you need to do this to level your family up. Nah, this takes time. This takes time.
So I wanted to share that because I know what I felt, because I'm a guy who's always talking about generational wealth. I know you're talking about generational wealth as well, but I wanted to get your take on that.
If you scared, say you scared, right? If you scared, get a dog, right? So my thing is this. If you're not thinking that way, then you're doing your family a disservice. You may not get there, but you need to have the mindset. Generational wealth can be as simple as having $1 million insurance policy, right? So if you spending money, you buying a 6-pack every week for $12, $48 a month, maybe you can get $1 million life insurance policy. So when you die, your kids are going to be in a better position. Doesn't necessarily mean that you got to start a business, but you need to set them up, creating trust. So you're not, about this, so you're not getting all those taxes, right? In terms of, transferring your wealth and your assets. So generational wealth is a strategy. Everybody's got a different strategy. But if you're not thinking about it, I don't care. I don't know who this cat was. If you're not thinking about it, you're doing yourself and your family a disservice. That, to me, that's selfish. I want my kids to do better than me. I paid for a Duke University education and a University of Virginia education, and my kids didn't take out a loan. Did it hurt me? Hell yeah. But I want them to be able to start off where they're not coming out with loans, so they can come out and do what they need to do. It ain't about me. It's about the next generation. What Dame Dash say, it ain't my first name. It's about my last name. And if you're not thinking like that, you shortchanging your family. That's my point. No disrespect for the brother, but like I said, if you scared, get a dog.
No, I hear you. I actually love this point, though, right? And I think if we add a little bit more context to it, you would love it too.
That's all I heard.
Right. So the question was, what do you think about generational wealth? Because generational wealth has become this new dog whistle for all the scammers to use to get people to buy their courses, and they're not really running them through the levels that they need to do. Now, I forget that brother's name. His name is Amity something. Does a lot of real estate investments. He's very village minded. From what I can tell, I've never met the brother though, right?
Mhm.
But a lot of people do feel guilty because they feel like, well, I had to make sure that I'm good, the next generation is good, and the next generation is good. Well, yes, we definitely have to think about our children's children. Absolutely. But how do we get children's children? Starts with us. So we got to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves and our children. And then, you can do some things for the next generation. You can start planning for the next generation. The point you made is a very solid one. If you get $1 million worth of life insurance, you can set up that life insurance policy to pay roughly anywhere from, I'll say, $30,000 to $60,000 a year safely without eroding the capital. Without eroding that $1 million that you received upon somebody's passing. That can pay. Just imagine what 50 G's a year can do for the next generation without fail. It can be powerful. But this term, and again, I am guilty. I use generational wealth all the time. Yeah. The audience knows it. But when these folks start selling and they start talking about this stuff, because again, you brought up trust, they say I'm a trust hater. Only because it's like, well, you want to get a trust, you want to get an LLC, you want to get an S corp. What are you doing? Right? We got to create something to put in the trust.
Exactly.
So we got to get going. So it's all about context.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, it's all about context. That's all.
So here's my question to you.
Okay.
So my question is, why should you not think about that though? It's almost like, now I didn't get the whole picture, the context of the conversation, but it's almost like, man, this is too much pressure for me to think about generational wealth. Now, once again, this is only 30 seconds of it.
Right.
My thing is, why don't you think about that? And I'll give you a real life example. Years ago, I had this buddy I used to work with in corporate America. He was selling insurance and all of this stuff. His son was 17. He said, when my son turns 18, I'm going to cancel my life insurance. I said, for what? I said, your life, well, he's a man now. I said, your life insurance ain't for you, it's for your family, right? And so when I hear somebody say, I don't want to think about, or it's too much pressure to think about generational wealth, to me, and this is just me, I'm a competitive dude. To me, what that's saying is, that's too big, that's too much for me to bite off. So even if you aren't able to accomplish setting up the next generations, don't you want to try? Damn. What's wrong with trying to put your kids in the best situation? You talked about Dr. Walter Lomax. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now. Radio stations, all types of physical therapy. I mean, he had all types of business. That's thinking. You don't have to be Dame Dash. You don't have to be a superstar, but just putting your kids in a situation that's going to allow them to have it easier than you to help build. Somebody going to have to step up. It may not be that cat, but if you're not thinking that way, to me, that's counterproductive. Everybody should be thinking about how they can do it. The question is, can you do it? And if not, damn, just do the best you can.
But that was his point. He was saying do the best you can.
Right.
Because he's saying that everybody's using generational wealth as his buzzword to sell you some bullshit, basically. Right. and I mean, just being honest, right? That's what he's talking about. And I get it, but there's another clip. I don't want to belabor that one.
No problem.
I'll send that to you. You can look at it again.
Yeah.
I think what's it? You'll get it. You'll get it.
All
right. So this was
Bernie Mac say, I ain't scared of you, mother.
A conversation about, people who work at blue collar jobs and how necessary they were. And we were saying exactly what you were saying. Like, it's nothing wrong with working a blue collar job or doing this or doing that, but also realizing that you can do something on the side.
Yes.
You can create that streaming company or that podcast or whatever you want to do, buy that multi-unit and rent it out. You can do it on the side. You can do more than one job. And I think people were stuck with, this job is only for these people. And I'm like, that's not at all. We all have a start from someplace.
Exactly.
Now, before we go any further, if y'all don't know what they're talking, we're referencing, they're talking about the commentary of Ebony K. Williams. I'm not going to get into that today.
That bus driver thing?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into that today. We could talk about that another day, but they've been on this blue collar thing. But I thought what Bishop Jake said was very, very excellent.
That's the kind of disruptive thinking that created the show.
Correct.
Okay, this is disruptive thinking. And the fact that you can do it on the radio and you can do it on TV simultaneously, the fact that you think in a multifaceted way is disruptive thinking. That's what got you here. That's what got me here. I didn't get here because I'm black. I didn't get here because I'm a man. I didn't get here because I'm a preacher. I got here because I'm innovative and creative and diverse and different and unique, as is Marvin Winans, as is Bishop Sapp, as is everybody is unique. What are we doing with our uniqueness? Right. So we're at an inflection point. The projections are about 2050 African Americans' median income is going to be at 0.
Damn.
If we don't make a quick turn, we're going to have a world full of trouble as artificial intelligence replaces us.
Man.
And it's a serious conversation. So disruptive thinking is as much a warning as it is a clarion call that the ideas you've had on the back burner, that you're waiting on enough money to capitalize, take them off the back burner, form partnerships, build alliances, go.
And so I wanted to talk about that because I know you've been dipping your toe, your ankle, your knee, all into AI.
Yeah.
Right. And we are in some disruptive times. I mean, I say Skynet's coming. Skynet's here, trying to figure out where we can find John Connor and Sarah Connor so they can come rescue our butt.
That's right.
But I recognize we also have to be our own John Connor and Sarah Connor. We got to save ourselves. But you got this whole thing with ChatGPT. You got a book about it. So I wanted to hear your thoughts about AI and how to leverage ChatGPT, and because I've been using it a little bit, but I'm wondering if I'm doing it right.
So it's funny. So the book I wrote, Unlocking the Power of ChatGPT, right? And the ultimate prompting handbook for beginners, damn near 90% of the book was written by ChatGPT. Now, obviously, no, really. So I created an outline. I told it what I wanted. Now I went in there and changed things up. But you either going to be ride the wave or you're going to get crushed by the wave. Now, here's the thing that a lot of people, they're using these scare tactics. Oh, we're going to lose a lot of jobs. Yeah, there's a certain amount of jobs that are going to be lost, but there's also going to be opportunity on the other side to balance that out. But that opportunity is only available to people that engross or take the time to learn, like prompt engineers. I talked about that. So if you know how to prompt ChatGPT and AI, you're going to get a whole different response. So if I can, the difference between my prompts, meaning asking the questions, you could get a four sentence paragraph, or you can get, a 3-page answer. How do you prompt the artificial intelligence? So my wife is in the education system. She's an assistant principal, right? And education is going to change. It's not going to be about learning how to or learning the content. How do you access the content? And so I said earlier today or tonight, we're always in the forefront. The new dance is out, the new challenge is out, whatever is out. Yeah, that's all good when it comes to culture. Start putting your focus on something that's going to make you money. Start focusing not on being the leading culture. Start focusing on entrepreneurship. It's just like when the idiot Donald Trump talked about he's bringing back the coal industry, right? Which we obviously know that's not going to happen. Instead of telling these coal miners that we bringing it back, how about you retrain them for something that makes sense for today's economy? And so if we're not on the forefront, stop being on the forefront of all of this other nonsense that ain't making you money. Be on the forefront of technology and entrepreneurship. And once you understand that, now you can leverage that to make money. 90% of that book, Unlocking the Power of ChatGPT, was done by ChatGPT. Now, I had to understand how to prompt it and get the the information, and then make sure that the information was correct and change things up. But yeah, so I wrote a book. Literally, it took me 2 days. Come on now.
I love
And
it.
and excuse the French, the shit is good.
Okay. All right. All right.
Shit is good.
So listen,
Excuse me,
if y'all are here, y'all know I love to do giveaways, especially with my guests at books. So stay tuned. We're going to give away at least 4 books. So
Yeah.
get your stuff ready. I got to answer some questions.
Y'all,
You got to earn it. You got to earn it.
that's
But
what's up.
couple of house cleaning things, right? We always know the algorithms are listening and they like to throttle black people stuff. So
Big
we
time.
don't, that former president, we don't call him by his name.
I got you.
His name is the Orange Monkey.
All right, my fault.
We call him the Orange Monkey here. But I agree with everything you just said. I agree with everything you just said. So ChatGPT, what are they calling it? Generative AI, machine learning. All of these fancy terms are out there. Everybody's scared that jobs are going to be lost. We're heading to this dystopian time frame, right? That's the picture to paint. And I'll be honest, I do think that's the way it's going a little bit.
Yeah.
But to me, that's a call to get our money right, because it's going to boil down to the haves and the have-nots.
Right.
I mean, we've seen all the violence that's going on.
Mhm.
At some point, we're going to have stronger policing, potentially martial law to a certain degree. May not last forever, right?
Mhm.
But who are the people who are going to be able to do stuff and move around? It's
Right.
always going to be those who have access to resources.
Exactly.
And, if you understand how to use these things, the jobs are going to come. They're going to go. They're going to have new jobs, at least for now, at least until, we're all stuck in the matrix and we're batteries, right?
Right.
I'm joking, y'all. I'm joking. But what are we going to do in the interim, right? It's one thing to just kind of sit there and be sheep and be led to the slaughter, but are we resisting? Are we rebelling, right, to what the average way of thinking is? And how do we navigate this? That's why I wanted to bring Jay Jones on today, because I knew he's going to have a prophetic word for us. So,
Man, look, I got a lot of words, bro. I'm sorry, I ain't mean to interrupt you, because I'm passionate about this.
no, that's what we need. That's what we need.
Yeah.
So, where do you think step one is for folks with all of this robotics, AI, Google, everything? It's all changing. What do you think step one is for folks?
Well, the first thing is, I tell my daughters, you get your skill set up, you're more valuable. You're more valuable to corporations. You're more valuable to yourself. So my kids laugh at me because I be sending them AI stuff all the time. Oh, damn, Dad, all right, Dad, I see the article, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you see it, but are you reading it? Are you paying attention? And so I think in order to be viable as an employee or as an entrepreneur, your skill sets have to get up, right? And I know a lot of us, like I said, I enjoy, having fun, free time and all that. But guess what? You got to get it. And in order to make yourself more viable, you got to increase your skill sets. So instead of playing PlayStation 4 hours a night when you get home from work, go ahead and do something else. Start learning something. YouTube University, right? Udemy, all kind of different platforms out there to help you learn things. Like, for example, they're saying prompt engineers, which are people that know how to prompt an AI system. They're making $200,000-$300,000. All the companies. My youngest daughter just left LinkedIn, and she's at Walgreens corporate, and she's in the internal communications department, and they're using artificial intelligence now when they're creating their newsletters, their everything that they're doing. And I told her, I said, make sure you up on this, so when you interview with them, you have some a place of you're coming from, not an expertise, but you understand where AI is and how it's going to be utilized in the workforce. And so what I can tell you guys is, I don't care what AI, whatever you're in, you need to get your skill set up to make yourself valuable. When people's value go below what they paying you, guess what happens? You getting fired. They don't need you. keep your skill, get your game up, right? And that's what you need to focus on. Stop focusing on stuff that's not going to help you elevate. I always talk about elevate your entrepreneur IQ. You always want to be learning because there's no such thing as standing still. You're going backwards unless you're learning and adding to your skill sets. So, and I'm gonna stop it there, but because I could go on and on, but I'm gonna pull it back.
Nah, you good. You good. I mean, listen, I go on rants all the time. You can't help it in this day and time, right? Because if you really care about the community and some of the stuff we see day in and day out, can't help but being upset. But
man.
Listen, if y'all want this book, if y'all want to learn how to use ChatGPT, we're gonna play a little contest. You know, I like to have a little fun. Now, hopefully y'all was listening, y'all was paying attention because it's like class. Y'all supposed to take notes when y'all here. But for y'all, I'm gonna put some questions out there. I've been taking notes the whole time. Hopefully y'all been paying attention.
I can't see nothing. We got people live on here.
Yeah, yes, we do. We gonna get to that in a minute. You got fans in the building, brother. You've been out here doing this.
Okay, all right. I was on the wrong thing. All right, that's what's up.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So we are going to play the wheel of names. So first question is, what is Jay's formula for freedom? Put it in the chat. What is Jay's formula for freedom? But while we're waiting for folks to do that, like I said, we're going to get 4 books. 4 books. What is Jay's formula for freedom? Put it in the chat. I gotta
y'all
make sure
listening.
y'all
I hope y'all was listening now.
All right, so while we're doing that, we're going to talk to some of the people that are here. Kagoma's in the building. Thank you for joining us today, brother. Appreciate you. Yes, sir. 5 minutes early. Early bird does get the worm. JT Coins, my man. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Thank you. I might have to split that with brother Jay here. Gotta be honest. Listen, man, I believe in integrity and transparency at all times, man.
That's what's up.
All right, Don Johnson's in the building. What's up, Don? Another Philly cat right there.
That's what's up.
Thank you for joining us, Don, as always. Oh, Miss Cherie, one of the founders of the 10K Project. Thank you for joining us, man. All right, so she's saying, I gotta give you the horns. All right, so as an entrepreneur, it's important to get one up and running. That's right, one income stream is what she's saying. Get it up running strong. Then you can create 2. And then that 2 can turn into 4. That 4 can turn into 8. And at that point, it's no longer basic math, basic arithmetic. It becomes exponential. So, build a foundation so you can bounce off that. All right, so Don says, what's good, people? Thank you for joining us again, sir. All right, so Cherie just popped in to say hello. All right, remember the question to put in. The question is, what is Jay's formula for freedom? All right, don't forget that. Oops. All right, little talk in the chats. So Kagoma says the transport industry is deep into turmoil. I need me something better. Okay. All right, well, ChatGPT could probably help you go along the way. All right, Don Johnson. All right, so this is what Don said you got a fan, right? Don says one of the first podcasts I sub to. So like I said, Jay, you got fans here, brother.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Still Rocks 33 is in the building. I'm still not used to your name now, man. So his name was Still Rocks. Big Daddy Still Rocks 33.
Okay.
And I told him I can't be supposed to be calling no other man no name.
Big Daddy.
Yeah, but it became a joke and it's funny and he's here almost every week. So I appreciate you, Big Daddy. All right, so Nicole Arbery is here. It's hard to get people in our community to even get life insurance, let alone them think to get life insurance to leave to their kids.
Yeah.
Yes and no. I mean, a lot of us have a good amount of it, but we don't have a good understanding of it, I believe, in my personal opinion. Y'all know I love the stock market, right? But life insurance is probably, I've heard me say this before, life insurance is probably one of, if not the greatest financial tool ever invented or created.
Yeah.
You can take $1 and create 1,000 real easy. So understand and learn the power of life insurance, y'all.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got? All right. So you know what? I want to do something fun here too. Nicole Arbery is a black beekeeper. And if y'all been paying to my if y'all been paying attention to my Instagrams, I put her on and she's been getting a lot of love. How can she use ChatGPT though? But just throwing that for a minute. All right, so Alonzo, hold on one second, Jay. I just want to let you stew on that for a minute because I know you want to come with some fire. So Alonzo Hall, welcome. Thank you. All right, Don's got it. He's the first one in the building. Let me put Don in. Don Johnson.
That's what's up, Don.
All right, so we got him in. Still Rocks was paying attention.
Close.
Oh, wait a minute, you didn't get it? Oh, passive income.
Yeah, well, yeah, we give it to him.
We gonna give it to him?
Yeah. Still Rocks 33. You got it, baby.
All right, so we got that one up. All right, and let's see what else we got. All right, Lonzo's in there talking. It was cash flow. All right, we need the whole formula, bro. I done it. I see it. Yeah. All right, now we gave it to you. I guess I love life insurance. I started selling it because I got shot 5 times in front of my mom. Oh God, well, listen, brother, you are here. You are a survivor. So I got to give you on for that.
Most definitely.
The divine architect saw a way for you to be here today. So God bless.
Yeah.
All right. We only got 2. I thought we was gonna have at least 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Well, listen, if y'all only want a little bit of my money, it's cool. But what would you say, Jay? She's a black beekeeper, right? Well, she makes her own honey. Matter of fact, she's not just a black beekeeper. She raises chickens.
Oh wow.
She does some farming. So
what's up.
What would you say that?
Well, one of the most common things people use ChatGPT for is content creation. So, perfect example, I talked about my book. My podcast, a lot of times, I'll think of a topic or somebody will come to me with a topic and then I'll ask ChatGPT, write me an outline on this specific topic. Now, obviously, it's just going to give me thoughts and ideas. But in terms of content creation, it's almost like you don't even need to necessarily even hire anybody anymore, like on Fiverr and all that. So articles on, bees, right? I did an interview on a podcast with I forgot, sister's name was Michaela. She has a lemonade that she was on Shark Tank with the bees. I forgot what it's called. But the content creation with ChatGPT is amazing. You can put in give me a popular headline for content for a beekeeper, change the headline, write a three paragraph article. So content creation with ChatGPT, it's ridiculous. I was showing my wife the other day. She asked me something about she has to do a presentation on education. And she was like, go ahead and type this in and see what it says. She was like, damn, it's pretty much my whole presentation right here. So content creation is simple in terms of ChatGPT. And I signed up for the $20 a month for GPT-4, which is a little faster and it gives you more in depth. Yeah, more in depth. So it's that. And there's so many other AI platforms out there that you just got to learn how to leverage them and what makes sense. But I would definitely say content creation. What are some of the most popular questions people ask about bees? You can add it. What are the 10 most popular questions? Then you can address those. I mean, it's really unlimited. Anything. See, ChatGPT is a conversation. So anything you can talk about, basically your prompts are you talking to the software.
Right.
And so, I just be putting all kind of stuff in there, but it's funny because, the title of my book, that wasn't the original title of the unlocking the power of ChatGPT. It was something else. And I said, give me 5 variations of titles. And that was one of the titles. And I was like, damn, that was better than what I thought.
Yeah, I did an episode a couple episodes back talking about how we can use ChatGPT for financial advice.
Yeah.
And so we got into some of the prompts of investments, life insurance, and things like that. So
medical advice. I just read an article yesterday. They were like, ChatGPT is giving better medical advice than some doctors based on your on what's going on with you, you know, in terms of your symptoms and stuff like that. It was just an article in USA Today. I read it yesterday. I was like, this is crazy. Now, once again, it's all built on human knowledge. So you have to vet it and make sure the information that you're getting back is correct. But yeah, it really just cuts down your time. Like I said, in terms of me writing books, it may literally take me, if I'm real focused, it may take me 3 to 4 months to write a book. It took me a couple of days to write a book.
Man, I've been having ideas for books for years, and I'm still working on them.
Nah, bro.
So I
right there, bro.
All right.
It's right there. It's right there.
So all right. So we gonna give away. We have what we got here. We got two names here. Don Johnson, Still Rocks 33. That's all we got. So that's what y'all gonna have me spin away with. All right, I'm cool with that. So,
yeah.
I mean, there's really no need to spin.
Yeah.
But for the fun of it,
for
the fun of it.
Still Rocks.
Still Rocks wins. Congratulations. But guess what? Don Johnson wins too. Don Johnson wins everything. He be all over it. Listen, I'm going to declare Don Johnson. Well, let me see. Don Johnson is the Black Wealth diplomat because he knows all of us. He's familiar with everybody, connects me with people sometimes. He knows a lot of folks, and he's always supporting Black folk stuff. And by the way, I haven't seen him really running with the scammers too much. So
that's a good thing.
he has good discernment too. And I ain't saying no names, but he know who they are. He know who they are.
Yeah. Now that's important. That's important. You can't have no cats over there feeding our people the wrong info.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
So Don and Still Rocks, shoot me an email at, let me throw it in the header here. Just send it to Kamari at PhillyTaxTeam.com. Kamari at PhillyTaxTeam.com. And I will also tell y'all where y'all can get this. If you're watching the replay, y'all can go ahead and get a book as well so y'all can get down with this ChatGPT game. It's definitely going to be a big thing. It's already a big thing.
Yeah, so, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Again, y'all send me y'all name and address. It'll be protected. I'm not going to sell your identity to anybody. All right. Y'all safe with me.
That's what's up. That's funny.
And then I got to connect with Jay and pay the man. And I'll get you y'all books.
I got you, bro. Don't even worry about it.
Nah, I appreciate it.
I got you. Don't even worry about it. I appreciate that, man. You know, it's funny, man. Well, I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you go ahead, but
no, go ahead. Listen,
okay. One of the things that when we talk about the blueprint, right? People always come up to me and they ask me, "Yo, man, you know, what business should I start?" And I always respond is, "I can't answer that. You got to tell me something, right? It's like a diagnosis." And so one of the things that I created, pinpoint and monetize your genius, right? See, a lot of times, and you were talking about scammers, there's always something new shiny objects coming out, right? Oh man, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do day trading. I'm gonna do event spaces. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And when you really break it down, most people aren't going to do something that's not natural or innate for them. They're not going to do it long enough to be successful. So when I talk about pinpoint and monetize your genius is the intersection between your passion and your talent, right? The problem is most people don't know how to monetize that. So if you can monetize that genius, that's where you need to start your business. Okay. So perfect example. I got a good friend of mine cook his butt off, right? And I keep telling him, I mean, he makes like gourmet dinners, no real formal training, but I mean, he loves this. I said, bro, all you got to do, and his family eats at the table every night. All you got to do is start taking videos of what you're preparing, how you prepare it, and put it on, on YouTube. Create your own brand of seasoning, sauces, whatever it is. And I said, you're going to make money. And so the intersection of your passion and your talent, what are you passionate about? Right? So you could be passionate about cooking, right? What's your talent? You may be a great cook. How do you monetize that? You can sell recipes, right? Yeah, right. And for y'all who don't listen to my podcast, there's only 6 types of things you can sell: your physical products, your digital products, and your services. Somebody else's physical products, somebody else's digital products, and somebody else's services. It's only 6 verticals that you can sell. And so you need to start thinking about what are you passionate about and what are you good at, right? And how can you monetize that? And when you pinpoint and monetize your genius, you're not going to get, dissuaded by having hard times, because you're going to be doing something that you're passionate about and that you're good at. So when you have those roadblocks, you're going to keep pushing through. When you're chasing paper and something comes up and it's like, man, this is too hard, what you going to do? You're going to jump to the next shiny new object. And the problem is that with all of this opportunity out there, you need to find something that God designed you for. Everybody has something that they were designed to do, right? So my thing is, I'm passionate about entrepreneurship, right? I'm good at speaking. I communicate with all types of people. I've been blessed with that. How do I monetize it? I monetize it by listening to the BEB audience. And when they say, yo, Jay, I want to learn how to do this. All right, let me see if I can put together a program or whatever. But your genius is the intersection of your passion and your talent. And so the hell with all of these programs, the hell with all of this other shiny objects. Focus on what you've been given. And when you do that and hone in on that, that's the business you should be in. So quick example. I had a young lady, I talked about this on my podcast. She is a professional seamstress. She works for a big company and she makes fabric like for covers for couches and all types of stuff. Did you hear this one?
No, but
okay.
I can see it.
Well, check this out. So she's in one of my groups, my mastermind groups, and she was like, yeah, I'm going to make these pillows with sayings on it and all kind of stuff. And because I work in the industry, I'm able to get this fabric, at discount prices that you can't find in Michael's and all these stores. And she was actually showing me around in her sewing room all these rolls of fabric. And she was like, yeah, this is a certain fabric. It cost me $4 a square foot. And they sell it in Michael's for $18 a square foot. I said, your business ain't making pillows. I said, your business is selling fabric. A lot of times we don't understand that. So if you get this for $4 a square foot and people are going retail getting it for $18 to $20 a square foot, you mark that thing up to 15 or whatever a square foot.
You win it all day.
And it's all day, every day. So a lot of times, there's an old saying, stepping over dollars to pick up dimes. A lot of times we don't see what's really right in front of our face. And when you start going outside of your peripheral, that's when you start struggling. That's when you're chasing paper instead of chasing your purpose. And God has given I'm trying to get religious, but God has given everybody talents and they've given you passions. Now you just got to be able, that genius is the intersection of those two, and you have to learn how to monetize that. And so when I created the course, Pinpoint and Monetize Your Genius, that was for all of the people that are chasing all of these shiny objects that end up wasting money, doing stuff they don't want to do, joining multi-level marketing companies, recruiting people, and your family don't speak to you. You ain't even invited over for Christmas and Thanksgiving. and doing stuff that you weren't designed to do. Do what you're designed to do, whatever that is, but you got to figure that out. Then you have to figure out the monetization. That's where I tell people, what business do you need to start? Let's go through this process that I have in my course. And I'll walk people through this and like, yo, this is what you need to be doing. So I'm going to ask you, Brother Kamari. So if you're doing something just to make money, right? And it gets hard, what you going to do most times, man? Let me find something else, right? Yeah. Something a little easier that makes more sense. And that's where the problem comes in, man. We chasing all of this stuff when we need to hone in on what's internal. We're looking externally for the answer, but the answer is internal.
I agree.
You have to know how to lay it out. You got to know how to plan it and put it together where it makes sense for you. So,
Well, tell me this. I want to play something for you.
Yeah.
Let me know if you agree with this or not.
Okay.
I want to know the difference between people that buy those courses and a person like, I don't know, Warren Buffett or a Jay-Z or a Buffy. They all had vision. They all had an idea of where they wanted to go. Not only did they have vision and an idea of where they wanted to go, they worked for it. Oftentimes, when you see these infomercials, when you see these glamorous posts out here with these cars, they're promoting the microwave mentality. They're promoting the instant gratification mentality. So I played that, not to be narcissistic, y'all, but I was over here going to church on my own. I'm like, he talking my language, right? I agree. I so agree with you. But I actually like the way you said it better, because vision might be a little bit too grandiose for some folks, right? But like you said, finding your passion, finding out what you want to do, finding out what you can do. But what I see a lot is people have an inkling of what their passion is, and they might say, I don't want to do it for business. I don't want to make money with it because it's no longer fun.
Right.
But you're struggling with whatever you got. The ends ain't meeting at the end of the month. But here you are, you have this God-given gift, ability, and talent, and you won't tap into it. So you're kind of like Moses when God was telling him to go work for his people.
Right.
And he was like, no, it's not me. I'm not the one. And so his homie Aaron. So Brother Jay is acting like Aaron right now.
Right.
Go work for these people. Get them free. Sorry to y'all, I grew up in the church, so
nah.
Go back there every now and again. But yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. So
if you're so good at what you do and you feel like you haven't found your talent, your passion, it'll be disguised, or you might not recognize it. You can't really recognize it.
What do you do?
All kinds are there.
You gotta be cognizant, right? You gotta be in the moment. So, like I said, people always ask me about business. How do I start a business? And so the light bulb went off. Well, damn, if they want to know, other people probably want to know. So when people come to you, if you're good at listening, if you're good at giving advice, if you're good at whatever, be cognizant of your interactions. A lot of times I know we're so focused on, paying bills and just getting to the end of the week or whatever. Be cognizant of your interactions, right? Because those interactions, that's messaging. People, what do they come to you for? You may be a great listener, right? People come to you, come on, because, I got a tax problem. This is my man right here. He knows what to do. So think about what are some, and this is one of the things I do in the course. What are you passionate about? What are you talented in? So I could be passionate about singing, right? But do I have the talent to sing? I'm pretty decent in the shower, right? So I know if I'm passionate about singing, but I can't sing worth a damn, I'm not going to be able to monetize that, right? But maybe I could write songs, right? Maybe I could do something, around that talent. So be cognizant of what people come to you for. And here's something that you guys can do. Talk to your family, your friends, your network. Hey, what am I good at? What stands out about me? And people will tell you, man, you ain't shit, right? They might tell you that, right?
Listen, if you got friends like me, that's the response you're going to get.
Right. Right. Or they may say, yo, man, you know what? You all right, dude, man. I always come to you when I want sound advice, or when I want to figure out something, I know to come to you. So find out because a lot of times we don't even recognize what we bring, the value we bring to other people, because we're just being us. So sometimes you got to ask other people, hey man, what value do I have? What am I good at? And then when you start digging into that, then you can understand, all right, so I'm passionate about something. I'm talented in this. Now let me figure out the monetization. And that's the biggest part. How do I monetize it? Remember 6 things, family: sell physical products, digital products, your physical products, your digital products, or your services. Or you can sell somebody else's physical products, digital products, or services. And through my course, Pinpoint Monetize Your Genius, I take you through all the steps. If you want to listen to the actual episode, which I recorded, it's episode 199. It's a 25-minute episode, but it's probably one of the most downloaded episodes I've ever had. And it's called Pinpoint Monetize Your Genius, episode number 199, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Y'all don't know how many people have come to me that have started businesses. Yo, man, that episode 199 changed my life. And so when you're doing something that you're aligned to do, that you've been created to do, you're going to live a life that very few people can. So I'm living in my genius right now, right? Now, y'all can't see what I got on, shorts, got my slippers on under here, but I don't have to get up in the morning. I get up because I want to get up, because I've created the lifestyle that allowed me to do this. Now, did it happen overnight? Hell no. Like I said, I almost lost it all twice. But by the grace of God, I figured out that why fight to make money when I can use what I've been given to create that income and that revenue. And like I said, it's a whole different concept when you're doing something for the money versus doing something for the love. And so I'm not saying don't go grab that low-hanging fruit. So if there's a way you can make some paper and then you can parlay that into something else, it's all good. But understand, your genius is calling you. It's calling your name. Kamari, it's calling your name. Jay, it's calling your name. It's waiting to get out. And the only thing holding it back is you. You're your worst enemy.
Indeed.
Right? Indeed. You're your worst enemy. We don't do what we're supposed to do. We don't have the commitment that we need to have. And a lot of times, like I said, we don't understand that once you get to this breakthrough point, I'm going to tell you right now, I can't even explain it to you. When you're living, doing what you're supposed to do, I can't even explain what it feels like. You know what I mean? You got to live it yourself. So when I get up every day, I'm excited because I can work on the projects and things that are fulfilling to me because I got that freedom equation. Cash flow plus passive income, right, Don Johnson? He got it, right?
Don got it, and Still Rocks got it.
Yeah, exactly. And Still Rocks 33. So once you create that, now and I don't want to go on a rant, but let me just tell y'all one more quick story. All right. Man, you gotta go to bed. You all right, man?
No, take your time. Take your time.
I'm just checking on you, fam. But
I'm about to get some water.
All right. So when I me and my partner we talked about buying that Remax franchise. There was a dude, a white dude that had the territory rights for South Jersey and Philadelphia. So it was a summer day, right? So we go over to Cherry Hill, New Jersey. We all suited down, and we like, all right, we ready to negotiate. We want to buy this, get this territory in Philly, old city. Dude come in with flip-flops, a Hawaiian shirt, and shorts. And I'm like, damn. And it just, when you got it, right? When you in that position, you ain't got to prove nothing to nobody. This dude had like 10 or 12 Remax offices getting paid. So he didn't give a damn. He was like, look, man, hey, guy, nice as hell, but he's like flip-flops, Hawaiian shirt, and shorts, but once again, he was doing what he was supposed to do. And I asked him about how he got into real estate. And he said his father was in it. He was in it. He knew what he wanted to do. And he built this mini empire and he was getting it. And so one of the things, I was joking earlier. Now, I wasn't really joking, but if you're scared, say you're scared, or if you're scared, get a dog. You can't be scared, right? You can't be scared. You owe it to yourself to try to get to the point where you're living in your genius. And that doesn't mean quitting your job today. Yo, boss, I ain't coming in tomorrow. Don't be silly, but you need to start on the path to get to that point. If you had your druthers, would you rather do something that you were designed to do, or would you rather go to work 9 to 5, doing something just to make money, knowing that this really isn't fulfilling for you? And so when you ask yourself those questions, most people are going to say, man, I wish I could do this. But here's the whole key, guys. You can do that if you take the steps. And so, like I said, my wife, she be like, man, one thing about you, she said, you ain't scared to fail. I was like, nah. I said, because as an entrepreneur, that's part of the process.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Man,
Great
look,
word.
I could be on this piece, man, for about another 2 hours. Everybody good, man? We going to do another 2 hours? What's up?
No, I'm going to bed, brother. But listen, the invitation is always open to come. And listen, I'm more than happy. But before we get out of here, I want to do 2 things.
Yes, sir.
Got 2 favors for everybody today. So this is the first favor. I started a new YouTube channel, y'all. So what I decided to do was, I separated the Finance Rebel page. Still going to be here. Still going to rock every Wednesday, but I created a Philly Tax Team page so I could talk more about taxes, a lot of the shenanigans of taxes, but my personal commercial to run all day long. Sometimes my Black content gets mixed up with my tax content and people get confused. So I wanted to create something that was purely for the business. So do me a favor, everybody go on over to YouTube, subscribe to the Philly Tax Team channel. Grow that thing. Help me grow that thing. Now, the second favor I have from all of you is you got to go and check out my man's podcast, right? Go on over to the Black Entrepreneurship, the Black
Entrepreneur Blueprint, man.
Got it. I'm tired. I got it.
All right.
Y'all go listen to episode 199. I think I heard that one before. But I'm gonna go back into the archive, man, because Brother Deep, 436 episodes.
464, baby.
464.
Man, I rocked it, man, for a minute.
464. I gotta have you come back and just talk about that journey.
Okay.
All of them. But go on over. Let me get it right. Let me show y'all what it is before we go. All right.
There you go.
Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. I don't know why I am munching my words today.
That's that Temple education. No.
I love Temple. We gonna give it to Philly Public School. Temple. I think Temple's dope. But everybody go on over, subscribe to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, and check it out. Y'all see the ChatGPT book too? Y'all make sure y'all go check that out as well. And for everybody that won the book, make sure y'all email me, Kamari@phillytaxteam.com. All right, y'all. Appreciate all y'all being here. Until the next time, y'all know I'll be back next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Same Rebel time, same Rebel channel. So listen, y'all continue to be great. Oh, you know what? Let me stop. I'm getting ahead of myself. Jay, where can people find you at?
Oh, all right. The easiest thing is to go to my website, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. If you want to take the shortcut, go to BEBconnect.com. It's going to take you to the same website. But all of the information I talked about, my online courses, the whole BEB ecosystem is there. Instagram, if you want to link up with me, go to J Jones for real, the number 4 REAL, JAYJONES, the number 4 REAL, or Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. There you go. That's the website right there. Some of the people I've interviewed, E.T., Mahisha Dellinger, Killer Mike. You know, I interviewed a whole lot of people. Professor Griff, Dennis Kimbrough. Yeah, all of that, man. So you know, a lot of the episodes are me doing solo shows, but I do have a lot of guests on there too. So Kamari, I want to before we go off, man, I want to thank you for allowing me to talk to your platform, brother. I truly appreciate it. I've been checking you out too, man. Just like you've been checking me, I've been checking you out, and I appreciate what you're doing with the community, because there's a lot of nonsense out there, bro.
Oh yeah,
a lot of nonsense out there, and you use the word that I always talk about, discernment. So you have to discern who you're going to receive information from. Garbage in means garbage out, but you got to make sure that you got quality people like my brother here on the Finance Rebel Show, Kamari, that's spitting real game for you. And it's no nonsense. We ain't paying for people to come on a podcast. None of that. It's about taking care of your platform. And I appreciate you, brother, for doing what you do and having me on, man.
Oh man, I'm floating on cloud 9 now. So thank you for those kind words. But all right, y'all. I'll see y'all next week. So
Thank
long,
you, guys.
everybody.
Peace. Yeah.